I'm Mark Muniz, outbound sales trainer and founder of Sales Development Australia. And today, what I want to do is give you a guaranteed prospecting play that'll get you great results in 90 days or less. And the best thing about it is it's super low tech. You don't need any more software or any more tech tools to get this started out. All you need is a couple of poker chips or maybe some of those circles from Connect 4. Do this strategy and you'll never fall behind in prospecting again. Let's get into it. Okay, thanks for tuning in. So today, what I want to do is really help people who are making prospecting way too complicated. And there's some really easy things that we can do to make prospecting easy for 90% of us. You see, most of us are really focused on trying to make sure when we sit down to do our prospecting, we're doing a great job. And what that's doing is it means that we're not prospecting day to day. And in fact, what we're doing is waiting to do a bunch of outbound on one day of the week or one day of the month, or waiting for some trigger to start doing outbound. And the key thing about prospecting is it's all down to consistency, right? So being consistently good is way better than being occasionally great. And it's that compounding effort of the consistency that's going to get you the great results. And we see this all the time in our daily lives, particularly when it comes to setting goals. And prospecting is really a bit about a goal play. So when you think about the way we set goals, and one of the most common goals that we see people set, of course, is around their weight. So people want to lose weight. What do? They set goals of like, I want to lose 500 grams or I want to lose a kilo a week. And that's, you can do that 1 week, but you can't do it week after week. And what happens when, you miss the second week or the third week and you haven't lost a kilo at all, you've only lost 300 grams. So your brain says, you know what, I'll try and catch up and I'll lose 1.7 kilos the next week. And we all know that's almost impossible. So what happens in a very short period of time is we get despondent, we get deluded, and we just stop chasing our goals. And prospecting is exactly the same. And the fundamental thought process behind this is that as humans, we tend to overestimate how much we can get done in a short period of time and underestimate how much we can get done over a longer period of time. So if you take our weight loss goals as an example, people are trying to lose 5 or 6 kilos in 2 months, for example, when really if you took a longer term view and thought, if I was going to save, if I wanted to shed 6 kilos in 6 months or 6 kilos in 12 months, then all I'd really need to do was sit down and think about how can I lose 100 grams or 50 grams a week. Do you think you'd be able to lose 100 grams a week? I'm pretty sure you'd find that easy to do. And the great thing about these types of strategies, of course, is that if you lose 100 grams 1 week and the next week you don't, it's really easy to lose 200 grams the next week so that you catch up and then you're feeling like you're actually on track and you're being a winner. You're achieving your goals, you're taking a great step forward. Again, what do people do? They overestimate how much they can do in a short period of time and they underestimate how much they can do over a longer period of time. So we need to flip that with our mindset. And once we understand this and think about how we can use this in our prospecting, it makes it much easier for us to have a continual incoming leads, big fat pipeline, and make prospecting really, really easy. So this is what I want you to do. Get some Connect 4 tokens or get some old poker chips or something like that, something that's a little bit ornate. And what you do, you could use, dollar coins, but maybe somebody might steal them off your desk. But, you want to have, let's say, 5 of those. And you get your 5 poker chips and you put them on the left-hand side of your desk. And then every day you go, okay, I need to do 5 pieces of outbound to individual prospects. So I might get in at 7:45, make one quick phone call to somebody who I think is going to start work a little bit early, see if I can get them on the phone. If I can't, I'll leave them a message, maybe send them an email as a backup. Just a quick reason why I was reaching out. Then you take that poker chip and you place it on the right-hand side of your desk. So you've now got 4 poker chips on this side and 1 on that side. Then you do your meetings and you're working through your day and you find that the 11 o'clock meeting that went from 11 till 12, you get out of there and you've still got a couple of minutes left. So you go, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and reach out to somebody on LinkedIn. I'm going to check out their profile, send them a LinkedIn connection request. I might give them a little bit of a message, interact with their profile, highlight some similarities that we've got with people that we're connected to, that sort of thing. And see if I can't start an interaction there. Maybe I'll also send them an email message saying that I'd interacted with them and found them on LinkedIn. Then I take the second poker chip and I put that over onto the right-hand side of the desk. While I'm going to go out to lunch at 1 o'clock, for example, and again, I've got a couple of minutes before lunch. So what I might do is get a little handwritten card. I might write something on a card or get something like that you want to send to one of your potential prospects. And then while I'm out having lunch, I might put that in the post box. And so I know that's going to land in their desk in the next couple of days. And maybe I can call or send them an email and say, hey, did you get that? I was hoping to start a conversation with you. And then what you do is you take that poker chip and you put that over onto the other side of your desk. So we're now just after lunch. And what we've got so far is we've got 2 poker chips on the left-hand side of our desk, and we've got 3 poker chips on the right-hand side of our desk. What we're doing now, it's a small little pieces of outreach, one at a time, that's going to have a significant impact over the longer duration. So over a week, over 2 weeks, over 4 weeks, over 8 weeks, over 12 weeks, you're going to have a great impact. You can imagine what happens with the next 2. So we do 2 other little small pieces of outreach during the day to other prospects. Might be people that haven't responded earlier. They can be phone calls. Maybe it's a cold email. It could be any methodology that you like. And then once you've done that, you move them over onto the right-hand side of your desk. When you stand up to go home at 5 o'clock at night, all you need to do is grab your 5 poker chips and move them across to the left-hand side of the desk. Why does this work? Because you're doing small little pieces of outreach all the time as you go. You're not waiting for some massive trigger event. You're not trying to sit down and have a big day on prospecting. And because you're breaking it down into single pieces time after time, like one at a time, it makes it much easier for you to be able to squeeze these things in amongst the rest of your day. So for example, when do we lose our momentum? When we go to things like sales kickoffs or sales training days, those sorts of things. But with this methodology, you could easily send 2 emails in the morning before you start the training. You could easily make 2 phone calls during the lunch break. And then on the train on the way home, you could easily send 2 LinkedIn messages from your mobile phone using the LinkedIn app, for example. So there's your 5 pieces of outreach, even though you haven't been in the office all day. So what you're going to find in no time at all, and usually this is between 60 and 90 days, is if over a 90-day block, so 3-month period, you've probably worked about 60 days in those 90 days, is you're going to have 300 pieces of individual outreach across various channels to various prospects and potential clients over those 3 months. 300 pieces of outreach. If you were to sit down and try and schedule that into the next 3 months, you'd find that very difficult. You'd end up trying to make 100 phone calls in one day, and they wouldn't be very high quality. This way, it's super easy. You don't need any technology. And if you have 300 pieces of outreach across a 60 working day or 90-day period, people are going to respond. You're going to be having great conversations. Some of those conversations are going to become opportunities, and they're going to fill up your pipeline. And because of the way that you've got your day structured, just 5 pieces of outreach every day. As I do one at a time, I put them on the other side of the desk. Very visual, helps you. You're sitting down at your desk and see I've got my 5 poker chips. I need to move them from here to that side of the table. It's really powerful tool for you to visualize what it is that you need to do, but still keeping it chunked down into super small pieces, but driving that consistency, because we know that being consistently good is much better than being occasionally great. Why don't you give that a try? It's super easy, doesn't require any tech, and I guarantee you'll have a match full of pipeline at the end of 90 days. Tell me what you think about it. Thanks for listening and watching. I'm Mark McGuinness. Ciao for now.